Well, look, the people of Gaza have suffered to an almost unimaginable degree. We have seen the death of so many children, so many civilians, the destruction of civilian infrastructure, and the immediate priority must, of course, be making sure the ceasefire holds, that the bombings have stopped, that the hostages are released. And I do welcome the positive role the United States played in helping to bring about a ceasefire. And I would respectfully suggest that there's an onus on all of us in the international community now to keep our focus on that, making sure the ceasefire holds, and making sure that humanitarian aid flows, making sure that the hostages are released. Of course, when it comes to the future of Gaza, it will, of course, need international support. There's no doubt about that. The scale of rebuilding is on a level that, again, would be almost unimaginable only months ago. But it's very clear the direction of travel here. We need a two-state solution. And the people of Palestine and the people of Israel both have a right to live in states safely side by side. And that's where the focus has to be. Any idea of displacing the people of Gaza anywhere else would be in clear contradiction with UN Security Council resolutions. I always adopt the approach when it comes to the US administration of judge them based on what they do and not what they say. I think it would be important that the United States would clarify the comments of the President overnight, because the international communities has put a huge effort now into bringing about a ceasefire. That ceasefire came much too late. Much too late, and I've been consistent on that for a very long period of time, but there now finally is a ceasefire, and it's really important that that ceasefire holds. But then the next phase has to be a political process that brings about a two-state solution, and that's where Ireland's focus is going to be. That's where I know the focus of the European Union is going to be, and I hope it's the focus of where the US will be too. And that's not a radical thing to say or a new thing to say. It has been the long-held view of the international community that a two-state solution must be the landing zone here. And the comments last night were of course very concerning. But the focus has to be on keeping the ceasefire in place, a fragile ceasefire that has seen aid finally flowing to the people of Gaza, bombing stopping and hostages released.
I would agree that Gaza is hell on earth right now, and has been hell on earth for the last number of years. That's the reason then why we need to double down on the ceasefire and make sure that the ceasefire is built upon and that the second phase is confirmed, and that we get massive humanitarian aid into Gaza. That is the immediate priority, and also the reconstruction of Gaza. In terms of, the bottom line is Ireland supports the two-state solution. We believe that's the only viable way to have security for Israel, but also a meaningful life for Palestinians in their homeland, side by side with Israel. I've been to Egypt, I've been to Jordan, I've been to the refugee camps in Jordan. They're under huge pressure already with many Palestinians in those refugee camps in Jordan. UNRWA is the key to sustaining those refugee camps with the Kingdom of Jordan and with the government of Jordan. They were very clear to me that they could not in any circumstance accept any more Palestinians in, and there would be enormous concern in Jordan and in Egypt at the idea that they could or that they would be in a position that are forced, if you like, to take more in. So without question, I think the focus now has to be on the ceasefire. I think the United States did play a significant role, President Trump did, in securing the ceasefire. And I've been reading about that over the week in terms of his emissaries working with the Qataris and the Egyptians to ensure that the ceasefire happened. What we need now is that the second phase of the ceasefire is followed through, and that we get a durable peace, so that people can get back to their homes and start rebuilding them, because we're talking about close to 2 million people in a very small piece of land. They need help, assistance, respite, and the wherewithal to get on with life right now.